Shadow Hydreigon, Shadow Tornadus, a new Pokemon Indeedee, and many more are coming during the Team Go Rocket Takeover Psychic Spectacular. Here's everything you need to know about the event and how to take the most advantage of this event. By the end of this video, you'll be ready for this event. Let's talk about it. So this event is September 16th, 10 a.m. to September 21st, 8 p.m. your local time. We'll have the event bonuses of 1 extra candy for a nice throw, 2 for a great throw, and 3 for an excellent throw. Increased chance to get Candy XL for nice throws or better. Half egg incubator distance. Soul Rock and Lunatone will be spawning together globally, so those regionals will have no region during the event. Team Go Rocket grunts will appear more frequently at Pokestops and in balloons. You'll be able to remove frustration from any Shadow Pokemon by using a Charge TM or an Elite Charge TM. And Shadow Pokemon caught from Tier 1 and Tier 3 raids will not have an IV floor of 666. Now we'll have the new Emotion Pokemon Indeedee making its debut into Pokemon Go, and its shiny will be released as well. Now there are 2 different forms of Indeedee because it does have a male and female variants, which do have different stats as well. We'll talk about it a bit further in the video. As far as spawns during the event, we'll see Abra, Lunatone, Soul Rock, and rare spawns for Beldum, as well as more that they haven't told us. The 5 Clone eggs during the event will be hatching Smoochum, Klingling, Esper, and Indeedee in the male and female version. We'll have exclusive field research tasks during the event to get you fast and charge shams, mysterious components, and more. The 3-star raids during the event will be Alolan Raichu, Hisuian Braviary, and Weirdeer, and the mega raids will be Mega Latias, Mega Latios, Mega Gardevoir, and Mega Gallade. We'll also see Dynamax Abra available in max battles at power spots during the event, as well as other Dynamax Pokemon. Now this is a Team Go Rocket Takeover event combined with a regular event. So we'll see new Shadow Pokemon during the event, with the Poison and female Water Grunt getting Shadow Quillfish, the Normal and Flying Grunts getting Shadow Swablu, the Psychic and Ground Grunts getting Shadow Baltoy, and the Dark and Dragon Grunts getting Shadow Dino. By the way, it could be both grunts, it could be just one of them. We don't know exactly where they'll be slot in. The leaders, Cliff, Arlo, and Sierra, will also get new Shadow Pokemon. Now I'm making this video early, so I don't know what Shadow Pokemon they're gonna have yet, but I will leave it in the pinned comments once the event does start what they will. Keep in mind, this event does start at 10 a.m., not at midnight, meaning if you want to hunt the new Shadow Pokemon from the leaders, they're only going to be available from the balloons on the first day of the event, because the leaders that spawn at Pokestops are set at 12 a.m. AKA the first day of the event, all the leaders will have their original Shadow Pokemon from the last Team Rocket event, so Shadow Cyndaquil, Totodile, and Chikorita. But you can still get them from the balloons on day 1. Now, the new Shadow Legendary during the event will be Shadow Tornadus in the Incarnate form. We'll talk about if it's any good in a bit. There'll also be a paid timed research during the event for $5 USD, and you can buy it in the web store where you'll get 3 free silver Pinette berries included in that purchase. So if you are going to buy it, you might as well buy it through the web shop. This time research will get you 2 premium raid passes, 1 Super Rocket radar, yes, 1 Giovanni radar, and encounters with event-themed Pokemon like Ralts, Gothita, Weirdeer, and more. We also have the bonuses of the XP celebration event, by the way, going down at the same time. If you're wanting to grind XP, currently right now, you're going to be getting 2 times catch XP for nice, great, or excellent throws, 3,000 more XP for winning raids, 3,000 more XP for winning a max battle. So overall, a lot of XP to be grinded. Just to give you an idea, if you do 1 tier 5 raid per day during this event, you can get up to 78,000 XP from using all your free passes during the 6 days. Okay, Indeedee, the new Pokemon, is it any good? Let's talk about it. Well, the Emotion Pokemon is going to be a normal and psychic type Pokemon. And again, it's going to have 2 different variations. Starting with the female, it's more of a defensive Pokemon with an attack of 184, defense of 184, HP of 172, and max CP of 2,710 CP. For fast moves, it can learn Extrasensory, and for charge moves, Psychic, Psybeam, and Energy Ball. The male form of Indeedee is more of an offensive Pokemon with an attack of 208, defense of 166, HP of 155, max CP of 2,762. For fast moves, it can learn Extrasensory, and for charge moves, Psychic, Psybeam, and Shadow Ball. Fun fact, the female version of Indeedee is actually the 2nd ever Pokemon in Pokemon Go that can learn a move that it cannot learn in the main series game, aka it can't learn Extrasensory in the main series game, only the male version can. As far as raid battles go, are these Pokemon any good? Well, in short, no. These Pokemon will never outclass Mewtwo or Shadow Mewtwo or even some of the legendaries out there, so overall, they're not really strong, with the male form of Indeedee with Extrasensory and Psychic having a DPS of about 14, so not really high. As far as PvP goes, are these Pokemon going to be any good? Well, in short, again, no. If you don't know Extrasensory, one of the worst fast moves in Pokemon Go, and them only having access to this make this Pokemon completely useless. For example, female Indeedee only beats 3 of the top 53 Pokemon in the currently Great League meta, so yeah, they're not good at all. These Pokemon could get move updates in the future to make them better, so they're not completely throwawayable, but overall, currently right now, not good with the moves they have. What about the new Shadow Pokemon though? Starting off with Shadow Altaria. Well, is this Pokemon going to be good? Altaria has seen play in PvP in the past. And with the new buffs, Altaria actually got a buff and is now ranked 77 in the Great League. With the new Shadow form, it's going to pick up a couple different matchups, beating 26 out of 53 of the top Great League Pokemon. So definitely grab yourself a Shadow Altaria for the Great League, give it a run, especially with the new Dragon Breath update. Moving on to Shadow Baltoy. This season, Claydol is actually pretty good in PvP, being ranked 63 in the Great League. Overall, Shadow Claydol will be more of a side grade for Claydol, kind of giving it just different matchups, but nothing better or worse than the regular Claydol. Definitely still worth grabbing if you want a new Great League Pokemon. We then have Shadow Zweilous, which is the middle stage of Shadow Dino. Zweilous is currently ranked 34 in the Great League, beating 34 of the top 53 Great League Pokemon. So it's already a good Pokemon, but its Shadow variant probably won't give it much of a buff. The Shadow variant in the Great League only beats 26 of the top 53 Great League Pokemon. I will say the extra Dragon Breath damage will be nice, but will it be worth the trade-off of the extra damage you take? Overall, 3 new Great League Pokemon definitely worth grabbing in the Shadow form. But the big winner here is going to be Shadow Hydreigon. Hydreigon with its community move Brutal Swing in the Shadow form is going to get a huge buff. Regular Hydreigon being the number 9 Dark type attacker in Pokemon Go, and the Shadow version jumping to the number 3 version in Pokemon Go. It will be stronger than Shadow Darkrai, which is coming to the Go Wild area later this year. The only thing better than it is Shadow Tyranitar still being a little bit better overall, and Mega Tyranitar, but it does still have the 3rd highest DPS and is a strong Dark type attacker. Definitely worth doing grunt battles to get Shadow Dinos. What about Shadow Tornadus in the Incarnate form though? Well, Tornadus is already an okay flying type raid attacker, but Shadow Tornadus will actually be pretty decent. With Air Slash and Hurricane, Shadow Tornadus will have a DPS of 17.69, jumping it to the number 13 flying type attacker in Pokemon Go. Now overall, again, if you're comparing it to things like Shadow Moltres, Shadow Staraptor, Shadow Honchkrow, which are a bit easier to get and more accessible, it's not that strong, but still not a terrible Shadow to get. But you see, things can change in the future, because in Pokemon Legends Arceus, Shadow Tornadus was given a signature move of Bleak Wind Storm. The Therian form of Tornadus has this move already, but if they were to give it to the Incarnate form, it could make it jump even more, all the way up to the number 6 flying type attacker in Pokemon Go if it got that legacy move. So the Shadow could be a good one to keep just in case that happens. However, if you do not want to catch Shadow Tornadus, we'll talk about how to save your Rocket Radar for a future Shadow Legendary. My guess is we'll next be getting Shadow Landorus and Thundurus. If you are battling Giovanni, here are some quick tips for you, by the way. Taking a look at the past 4 Team Go Rocket Takeover events, Giovanni will always have a Persian in the first slot, and the past 4 Team Go Rocket events, it's always had a Shadow Nidoqueen and Shadow Rhyperior in the second slot. So my guess is that's not going to change, and in the back will be Shadow Tornadus, meaning I highly recommend bringing an Ice type like Black or White Kyurem or even Mamoswine during the battle to easily handle the potential 2 Pokemon it has in the middle and the Tornadus in the back, and always bring a fighting type for Persian in the front like a Lucario or like, I don't know, a Blaziken or even a Machamp to take that on. Okay, let's talk about the actual spawns during the event, because of course there's an event going down in it, with Abra being one of the wild spawns. Well, Abra evolves into Alakazam, which does have a Mega form in Pokemon Go, which is the number 2 Psychic type attacker in Pokemon Go with Psycho Cut and Psychic. Also, Dynamax Abra is also in the max battles, which you can evolve into Dynamax Alakazam, being the number 1 Psychic type max attacker in Pokemon Go. This will be extremely useful against Pokemon like Gigantamax Garbodor, which is coming to Pokemon Go later this season, it's been confirmed. Also very useful if you ever get Gigantamax Machamp back in the game. Also, Kadabra is a free trade evolution Pokemon, so any Abras or Dynamax Abras you catch during the event, if you mirror trade them with a friend and receive one from a trade, evolving it from Abra to Kadabra will cost 25 candies, but into Alakazam will be completely free. So I highly recommend you go ahead. If you want to grind a lot of XP, you can go ahead and trade a bunch of Abras and evolve them each for 1000 XP, 2000 on a lucky egg. You could even wait until next month when we'll get a 2x evolve XP Spotlight Hour and evolve them for 4000 XP for a Evo. Also, I do want to mention that Lunatone and Solrock are regional Pokemon. If you're a newer trainer and you don't have them, highly recommend you catch these Pokemon, try your best to get them into your Hoenn Pokedex. Beldum is also spawning in the wild, which evolves into Metagross. Metagross does have a Mega form, which is finally coming to Pokemon Go this season. Let's get it during a raid day. We don't know which raid day yet, but it'll probably be in the next month or 2. Mega Metagross, when it comes to the game, will be the number 4 Steel type attacker and 7 Psychic type attacker, and regular Metagross is the number 7 Steel type attacker with Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash, and its Shadow variant is the number 5 Steel type attacker. So overall, a very strong Pokemon. Metagross also has a Dynamax variant, which is the number 3 Steel and Psychic type max attacker currently in the game, and with Fury Cutter can also be a really good tank Pokemon. A very, very strong, solid max Pokemon to have, so good opportunity to grind Beldum Candy and XL Candies for any Metagrosses you might have. Final thing I'll mention is we don't know every single spawn during the event because they don't tell us fully anymore, but because it's a psychic event, if you do see Gothita Gothita and Solosis spawning during the event, both those Pokemon can be disguised as a Ditto. So if you want to catch a Ditto and Gothita and Solosis end up being one of the wild spawns, highly recommend you catch those. Okay, what about the raid bosses? Which one should we focus on? Well, we have Mega Latios and Mega Latias in the Mega Raids returning. Mega Latios is going to be the number 13 Dragon type attacker with Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw, and number 3 Psychic type with Zen Headbutt and Psychic. Mega Latias, the worst one, will then be the number 16 Dragon type attacker with Dragon Breath and Outrage, and number 10 Psychic type attacker with Zen Headbutt and Psychic. Both these megas do cost 300 Mega Energy to Mega Evolve, so you have to complete 2 of each Mega Raid to get enough Mega Energy for them. But the main reason I would actually probably raid them is to grind candies for them, because recently we did have Dynamax Latios and Latias come to Pokemon Go. Dynamax Latios is the number 2 Dragon type max attacker behind Eternatus and the number 2 Psychic type attacker behind Alakazam. So overall, a great Pokemon to power up for the Dynamax battles, and this is your chance to get candies for them. Also, it's a great Pokemon to use as a tank role because it has Dragon Breath and can fill your max meter very quickly. Mega Gardevoir is also in the Mega Raids, which is the number 1 Fairy type attacker in Pokemon Go with Charm and Dazzling Gleam, and number 5 Psychic type attacker with Confusion and Psychic. You then have Mega Gallade, which Mega Gallade is the number 6 Psychic type attacker in Pokemon Go with Psycho Cut and Psychic, and the number 10 Fighting type with Low Kick and Close Combat. Both these Megas only take 200 Mega Energy to Mega Evolve, so you can go ahead and only do 1 raid if you do it quick enough to get their Megas. Quick tip, by the way, if you do walk a male Ralts, Curly, or Gardevoir as your buddy, you can grind both Mega Gardevoir and Gallade energy at the same time once you've unlocked both of their Megas. Okay, what about the 5k eggs? Are they worth hatching? And in my opinion, honestly, not bad. Why? Well, we have some rare Pokemon in there, with Shiny Klingling and Shiny Smoochum being pretty rare baby Pokemon you can only hatch from eggs. I'm actually missing a Shiny Smoochum. I've never hatched one, so I'm gonna go after it. I will say Esper being in the eggs, not the best to hatch, but if you also do want the new Pokemon Indeedee for the Pokedex, it is only available in the 5km eggs. Yes, it is locked to the 5Ks. Luckily, during the event, there is going to be half egg incubator distance, making it a bit easier to hatch the eggs at only 2.5 kilometers per hatch, but still not bad eggs to hatch, especially because there's some rare baby Pokemon in there, and you can go ahead and Pokedex this Pokemon. I don't know where Indeedee will go after the event ends. Will it stay in 5Ks? Will it become a raid boss? Whatever, we'll have to wait and see. Now, all these Pokemon we talked about, there are a lot of meta relevant ones. So how do we grind candies for them so we can power them up? Because like if you want to power up a Mega Metagross from catching a Beldum, you need a lot of XL candies, 296. So the best thing to do is use Pineapple Berries on any Pokemon you want more catch candy for. Regular Pineapple Berries will double your catch candy. Silvers will 2.34 times your catch candy. Also, during this event, Mega Evolve a Psychic Mega. This is a Psychic type based event, and any Mega you have active, you'll get more candy, XP, and XL candy for catching Pokemon of the same type. During this event, highly recommend you Mega Evolve a Mega Alakazam, Slowbro, Gardevoir, Latios, Latias, Rayquaza, or Gallade. So when you're grinding those Psychic spawns, you're getting more candies for them. Also, every time you trade away a Pokemon this season, you'll be getting 2 regular candies and a guaranteed XL candy. There is also a bonus every single Sunday during this season. You're gonna have the bonuses of 1 extra special trade. You'll have 1 extra XL candy from trading away Pokemon, so 2 per trade. 10% less Stardust from trades, and there'll be a higher odds of a Pokemon going lucky when you're trading away Pokemon. So I highly recommend, if you're gonna trade, always trade on Sundays during this season. As I mentioned, every time you trade away Pokemon, the chance of it going lucky is increased, and when a Pokemon goes lucky, the IV floor is 12, 12, 12, meaning there's a higher odds you end up with 100% IV of a Pokemon from a trade. Finally, if you're gonna go after the Dynamax battles for Abra, make sure you're dropping Pokemon into those power spots after you complete the battles. This is a great passive way to grind candies. You can get 1 candy every time somebody defeats a Pokemon at a power spot for a Pokemon you've dropped into that power spot, up to a max of 5. So it's great to drop in Dynamax legendaries, rare Gigantamax Pokemon, etc. to grind candies for them that way. Now, if you're grinding to level 50 before October 14th, where level 80 comes out, you need 35 platinum medals to go from level 48 to 49. Which ones can you work on during the event? Well, of course, this is a great time to work on your Psychic medal. If you've never completed this, you have to catch 2,500 Psychic type Pokemon, and it makes it easier to catch Psychic Pokemon. Obviously, doing raids, working on your Rising Star medal, defeat 150 species of Pokemon in raids. If there's a raid boss you've never raided before, do 1 raid for them to get a point on this medal. Also raid with a friend to work on your Rising Star Duo medal. This will also work on your Champion medal, win 2,000 raids, and your Battle Legend medal if you do those Dynamax Latios and Latias raids. Finally, try your best to win showcases. You usually have 2 showcases every week during this season, so try your best to win them to work on your Showcase Star medal, win 100 Pokestop showcases in Pokemon Go. Now, on the topic of leveling up, level 45 tasks is the best time to do it. If you're trying to grind to level 50 before the level 80 updates, you can get all the legacy items. The main reason they dropped this event is so people can complete their level 45 tasks. To level from 45 to 46, you need to defeat 100 Team Go Rocket grunts, purify 100 shadow Pokemon, defeat a Team Go Rocket leader 50 times, and earn 10 platinum medals. This is the event to do it, and if you want to purify 100 shadow Pokemon, the best search thread to do it is Candy Kilometer 1 and Shadow. This will pop up all the Pokemon that cost cheaper amount of stars. I don't think it's a perfect search thread. I've noticed that things like Talos still appear, which is 3,000, but it'll show you a vast majority of Pokemon like Bidoof that only costs 1,000 stars to purify. So if you're wanting to purify Pokemon for cheap, this is a good search thread you can use. Again, it's not a completely foolproof one, but it'll allow me to find, this Picky Peck, for example, that I'm just going to go ahead and purify because the IVs suck on it. Also remember, before the event, go into your settings and download all assets and also turn on native refresh rate. This will make your gameplay experience much smoother. Now, if you're going to grind a lot of the psychic wild spawns during the event, highly recommend you activate Spatial Rend Adventure Effect from Palkia, doubling your spawn distance from 40 to 80 meters. Very good adventure effect if you're wanting to increase your odds of encountering more Pokemon because you can see more Pokemon. If you're struggling to catch shadow Pokemon or you're doing a lot of raids during the event, I would instead go with the Ice Burn Adventure Effect from White Kyurem. This will slow down the catch ring and give you a 1.5 times catch multiplier. But if you are struggling with the shadow Pokemon, a better option might be Freeze Shock. Freeze Shock is going to paralyze a Pokemon, preventing it from attacking, as well as giving you a 1.25 times catch multiplier. The catch multiplier isn't as big, but shadow Pokemon that jump around a lot and attack a lot, this can be really nice because it'll make sure shadow Pokemon don't move at all, and it's very easy to land a Pokeball on them. Now remember, if you do want to grind grunts during the event, it can be a highly recommended strategy to unequip your Rocket Radar. If you have a Rocket Radar active and a balloon appears, it will be a leader, or if you have a Super Rocket Radar appears, it will be a Giovanni. So if you just want to grind grunts during the event, it can be a good strategy to go ahead and unequip your radar, which will mean that the next balloon appears is a grunt because it always goes in order of like the best radar you have. Now let's talk about Super Rocket Radars. Do you want a Shadow Tornadus or not? Well, if you do not want a Shadow Tornadus, the best strategy to go ahead and not use your Black Rocket Radar while still allowing you to get more Team Go Rocket researches is to not go past page 1. Let me explain. If you have a Team Go Rocket special research, I will put a list of them on screen, and a new Team Go Rocket event starts with where a new research gets released. If you are currently past page 1, that research is considered active, and you can only have one Team Go Rocket research at a time, meaning you will not get the new one. So you will be forced to go ahead and complete that Team Go Rocket research, but to complete a Team Go Rocket research, you need to battle and defeat Giovanni, aka you need to use your Black Rocket Radar. So the best strategy if you don't want to battle Giovanni is to not go past page 1 of the research. If you stay on page 1, that research won't be considered active and you will get a new research when it appears. You can then go ahead and just hold on to these researches until a Shadow Legendary comes out for Giovanni that you actually care about. Then you can go ahead and battle Giovanni and catch that Shadow Legendary. Pretty much, if you don't want a Shadow Tornadus, make sure you have no active Team Go Rocket researches, and then don't go past page 1 of the new one or whatever one you have, and you can stack the researches that way. I'll link below a video if you want to learn more into that strategy and why you actually want to do it if you're still confused, but that's the strategy. Now, during this event, we have a bunch of events in it that I quickly want to mention. First of all, Dynamax Abra Max Monday will be Monday, September 15th from 6 to 7 p.m. This is your chance to grind Abras, to go ahead and get them to mirror trade them for the free trade evolutions, and also to get yourself a good IV Alakazam for the Dynamax battles, and you'll be getting additional 3,000 XP per max battle, so big XP grinds. Gothita Spotlight Arrow will then be Tuesday, September 12th from 6 to 7 p.m. We'll have the bonus of 2 times catch XP. Don't miss this event if you're into XP farming. Gothita has the easiest Excellent Throw catch ring, and during this event, with the bonus of the XP celebration event, you're going to be getting 4 times catch XP, 8 times catch XP with a lucky egg, aka you'll be getting between 8,000 and 10k XP per Excellent Throw you land on Gothita. This Pokemon is easy to land Excellent Throws on. If you catch 300 Gothitas on an Excellent Throw within the hour with a lucky egg active, that's 2.4 million XP. That is huge XP gains for just 1 hour. So don't sleep on this event if you want to grind XP. Mega Latios and Latias raid hour will then be Wednesday, September 13th from 6 to 7 p.m. where the Mega Latios and Latias raids will be spawning everywhere with 25-minute raid timers, respawning twice, so 2 raids per 1 gym. Also this season, every time you catch a Pokemon during a raid hour, you'll be getting 1 guaranteed rare XL cane. Shadow Groudon raid weekend will then be September 20th and 21st. I'll have another video about this Shadow raid weekend, but Shiny Shadow Groudon will be available. We'll talk about the best tips in the upcoming video. Now, if you're going to be doing a lot of raids during the event, make Hisuian Quillfish or Galarian Yamask your buddy, as it needs to be your buddy and you need to win 10 raids while it's your buddy to evolve it. Galarian Slowpoke into Galarian Slowking needs to be your buddy and you need to go ahead and catch 30 Psychic types with it as your buddy. This is a Psychic type event, perfect time to do that. Galarian Farfetch into Surfetch needs to be your buddy and you need to land 10 Excellent Throws. Gothita Spotlight Hour, as I mentioned, very big Excellent Throw, a good chance to do that. Now, hatching is amazing during this event because Shiny Salandit came out recently in Pokemon GO and is one of the rarest in the game. And that's only available from 12 kilometer eggs. So during this event, hatching eggs is going to be an amazing interesting strategy because there is the bonus of half egg incubator distance, but you can take this even further by attending community ambassador meetups. Attend a community ambassador meetup. If you check into those meetups, you'll get a free timed research that can get you free items depending on the event. For Max Monday on September 15th, you'll get 800 free max particles from the timed research. Spotlight Hour on September 16th, a free super incubator. Raid Hour on September 17th, you'll get a free raid pass. And Shadow Grad on Raid Weekend on September 20th and 21st, you can get a free premium raid pass on each day. But the best part of attending a community ambassador meetup is if you're in a party and you're checked into the meetup, you'll get 25% less egg incubator distance. And this does stack with the half egg incubator distance bonus. If you want to hunt shiny Indeedee, it can make it very easy to hunt that from the 5-kilometer eggs because you'll be hatching them in less. And it could also be amazing for hatching the 12-kilometer eggs for Salandit. Oh, and also if you bought the timed incubator from rank 20, this is a good chance to use it as well from the Go Pass Deluxe this month. Guys, watch this video on screen if you enjoyed this one. This was definitely a big event, so I'm excited for it. Let me know if you are and follow for more tips. Peace.